Hi, Kellyanne from Rosebud Art and Soul Design, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm actually going to teach you guys how to paint a simple beach scene. Just very simple, very easy, and just let's get into it. So for this particular tutorial, I'm using craft paint. So I'll be using different colors of craft paint, and I'll go through each one of you as I'm doing it. So again, all I'm using is I'm using actually a smaller sketch pad. So this is an 8x10, not 8x10, 8x8 kind of pad. It's a mixed media pad, just like I spoke about in my previous video that you would need. And I'm putting just a piece of paper underneath it, all right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get started. Hi, puppy. So I'm just using my regular flat brush, my round brush, and a thin brush. Also, I'm making sure I have a piece of paper towel to wipe my brushes on. I have a palette that you can use a paper plate to put your paints on. And for this particular project, I'm just using DecoArt paints, all right? I'm gonna be starting out with, ultramarine blue. Now the thing with these is you got to make sure you guys shake them up really good. All right, you can see I use my palette a lot. It's okay, this dries up. Later on I can teach you guys how we get that off, but normally just buy a new one. No point of doing that. So I'm adding ultramarine blue to my palette. I'm also going to be adding some Laguna. I'm just gonna make sure you shake it up. So I like to tap it against my hand. And another, do you want to do a different blue? Don't want to add, I'm gonna add baby blue. I'm gonna add some baby blue to the mix. And I also want to add some white to my palette. All right, I might have a lot of paint here for such a little piece of paper, but that's fine. We're going to add some more colors later on, but these are the basic colors we're going to start with. All right, I have my cup of water to rinse off my brush. I'm just going to dip my brush in the water, dry it. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of the Laguna first. Now I'm just using my big brush and I'm just going to go going straight across. All right, this is for the sky. So now I may want to add in some white for the sky. So I'm just going to go back and forth with the Laguna and the white. I might want to add in some baby blue. It's fun to mix all three colors. I'm gonna come down, like, not all the way down, about halfway down, okay? While that's still wet, I want to add some darker blue. So I'm gonna take this ultramarine blue. I didn't even wash my brush. I'm just gonna use the side of my brush and I'm gonna like streak it in and then kind of blend it in together. Sorry, my puppy's in here. And I just like to add these random marks everywhere just to help add different streaks. All right, so that's step one. Okay, you can wait for this to dry, but we're gonna move on to the next part, the water. All right, so for the water, I'm gonna start off with the ultramarine blue, and right where this kind of ended down here, I'm just gonna go and make a straight line across. And what we want to do is do like an ombre effect or a gradient effect where this goes from dark to light. So I'm going to add some dark blue, add some white, and you'll get used to it this because it's only on paper. It looks like it's drying out so fast, or your paper is just soaking it right up. Just add a little bit of water to your brush. Okay. I like to keep this part dark as possible. Okay. And I'm going to add a little bit more water going right down here. Okay. While that's still wet, all right, we can, again, now I haven't washed up my brush yet. I felt like there was no need. I'm going to go in with the Laguna. And again, like how I did it in the sky with the darker blue, go in on the side first and then start adding that in. Now you guys can add it in wherever you like. This is your painting. Whatever you guys choose. Okay. You can choose some white. And again, I have not changed my brush. And that's just to help add some. Again, I apologize, my puppy's in the background playing with his toy. To add in some waves, and we could define those more when the painting officially dries. Okay. So I have my water and my sky done. Alright, if I want to go back in and add some more dark blues in certain areas, I can. Help blend that in. And if you know, you could keep messing with it until you're happy with what you got. Okay. And at this point is where I'm going to wash off my brush. Again, you can wait for your painting to dry. Okay. Next is I'm going to add some sand in. So for the sand, I am going to be using, I think I'm going to be using two colors. I'm going to be using desert sand. Again, so I'm just shaking that up. Adding that to my palette. And I'm also going to be using honey brown. And making sure I shake that up really well. All right, so I'm going to do the sand here. So I'm going to start with the lighter color. All right, and some of you guys might be just happy with just this color. Or, like I like to use the honey brown and add that in as well. I'm sorry, 1 minute. Yes, buddy, I know you like this. My apologies. I gave him a new toy and now he wants to do his play. So I'm just going to add light and dark, and I'm just using the side of the brush. Just to get the variance of the different colors in. All right, then I'm going to wash my brush off. So as that's all drying, all right, I'm going to go back. And the sky is pretty much dry. So I'm going to go back to the sky and start with the clouds. All right. Let me get a better brush. That brush. I used it and didn't wash it. So with the clouds, all right, I like to sometimes start with a light blue just to get that wet again. Okay, make sure I wash that. So I'm using the medium round brush now. So when it comes to clouds, it's not going to be the normal, I'm going to make clouds like this. So you can start off with a line of how big or how long you want your cloud to be. And what I like to do is in a circular motion, and I'm barely touching the paper, I like to go in and kind of like make circular motions for my clouds. Now because it's wet with the blue underneath, it's picking up the blue, and that's perfectly fine. You can always go back in with some white and dab it in a circular motion as well. But we're gonna go back in after and add some more white for highlights. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna kind of get my starter point, and I'm gonna kind of go in like a circular motion to kind of get that cloud effect in. So people do clouds all different ways. This is just one way that I prefer. And as that dries, I can add a little bit more white and let that completely dry. Okay, also at this point, I'm gonna go in over here and just add some more of that Laguna color just to fill in the pages. Okay. Next, we normally have the foam area down here. For that, you could do a couple of different steps. You could take some white paint and you can just, on a simple round brush, and just pat it in, just like this. All right, I'm gonna keep going in and grabbing some white. Again, it's going to grab the color because it's not completely dry underneath, and that's perfectly fine. You're gonna want to probably bring it down in certain areas so that it looks like it's creating more of like a wavy effect. So you can do it that way. You can take some blue with the white and add that in as well, and then go back with the white. And that's what I'm probably gonna do. So I'm just adding in some blue in some area to get some darker areas in, kind of create sort of like a shadow. With my brush. I'm just gonna wait for that to dry a little bit. And go back in with the white. And this is just quick and simple. Easy to get started with acrylic painting right away. You can also now grab your liner brush with some white paint. And now you can go back into the water. Now I wouldn't be holding it like a pencil. I'm holding it more up because you want to get like a wavy line, because you want to kind of show that there's like waves happening. You can even like twist it and it gives you that effect as well. okay? If you want to soften up the edges of the lines, you could just take the bigger brush and like go towards the edges and pull them out a little bit. And then wipe the excess underneath it, just like that. So that's something that's cool that you can do. While my cloud is drying above, I'm probably gonna go back in with a detailed brush and kind of like add in some more white towards the top of the cloud, because that's where the light is hitting it the most, and keeping the bottom of it darker. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm gonna let that dry. And while that's drying a little bit, I'm just gonna redefine this area. Kind of blend that in a little bit better. Okay. All right. So that's a simple beach scene. So you can stop here, or you can move forward, okay? So I'm gonna go in now with the honey brown. I'm gonna take my big brush. Now, it's up to you. So I'm gonna start off from down here and kind of come up and curve. And so it's gonna be a start of a palm tree, okay? The bottom should be a little bit thicker, so I'm gonna push a little bit more and then pull it up, just like that. Okay. Then I'm gonna go in with my liner brush. So the thing with a palm tree is, it looks like a firework on top happening. So I'm just going to kind of do those like that. All right, next I'm gonna grab a green. I'm gonna use forest green. I should have done that instead of the brown. So I should have done these in green. So the way you got to think about it is they're coming down and you're just curling it, doing these little wisps, just like that. All right. I guess it's okay that the brown's in there. So it's like blowing in the wind. So it's okay if these seem a little long. They are palm trees. They should seem like they're going a little bit all over the place. You can do it on both sides if you want to get a little bit more texture in like this. Okay. You can also add in a little bit of sour apple, which is a lighter green. For some highlights. I'm not going as crazy as I did, I'm just adding it in where I need it. And then from here, you can decide whether or not you need to fix. So I feel like this is all too thin. So I'm gonna come down and then make it thicker on the bottom. Make it come off the page. You can use black, or I'm just gonna add some blue and dark green together. Get like a navy. Just to add in the details of the palm tree. And that's our simple tree beach scene. You can also add birds in the background, whatever you like to add in the background. But it's quick, it's simple. Don't be afraid of anything.